What the fuck am I supposed to do? I'm gonna lose all of my stuff at my storage again.
Jaden's in jail.
Of course. Why?
I don't know. Because they're torturing our family.
Because you're helping. You and John are doing this stuff. And Tom.
Why would you think I'm doing it, Chelsea?
Because why wouldn't you be? Why are you so fucking retarded and you think that John is just God? And you stick up for John more than you do me. I'm your fucking daughter. Where are my kids?
What do you want me to do? So if I agree that John is doing it, what am I supposed to do?
I don't know.
You know what?
For one, you start by reporting him. Or is it just because you're probably the one stealing my benefits? Because if I find out that you're my payee on my stuff, you're not doing your job and you should be fired.
Chelsea.
Because you're supposed to make sure that I get my fucking money.
I'm on the phone with AT&T this morning. I owe them almost $800 this month because of all your guys' phones.
I don't have. Who are you paying a phone bill for?
Here, see, look at, there's the,
Because you didn't give me another phone.
Right.
I need my contract phone back. Because I don't even have phone time.
Yeah, and they called me back. I was on hold, and then they call me back. And then they say, hello, we can't hear you. We can't hear you.
Use my phone. Why are you paying for Candace to use my phone?
I'm not paying for Candace to use your phone.
Are you sure? Because you didn't shut my line off.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to do today. I was on the phone with AT&T. Well, I don't know. I owe them $800 so far this month.
Because you're letting someone steal my phone and then rack up your bill, and then they're stealing my fucking benefits because of it, because you didn't shut it off.
The only thing I can...
And you're leaving your kids sitting here with nothing. You're leaving us sitting here like pieces of shit while you're letting other people fucking bank off of your family's money or their stuff. Like, well, your own family looks like crap.
Like, that makes sense, Chelsea. Really?
Well, that's what you're doing.
Really, I'm doing that. Uh-huh.
Yes, Mom.
Chelsea, I get a little Social Security check, and I owe them $800.
You get all of our Social Security checks. Yeah, I'm not stupid.
Wow.
You are blatantly doing this, and you're trying to murder me and my kids.
Yeah, okay.
Well, that's what it seems like.
Yeah, that's why I've got 2 United States Air Force airplanes circling my house while my fucking sick psychopath neighbors profit off our oppression and torture.
Probably because you're an accessory to murder.
Right.
And they're watching you. They're supposed to be there to help you. And you're using it like it's something like they're enemies and they're meant to help you.
Well, you think the United States military is our friend?
Yes.
Right,
Yes,
there they go. There they go, flying around here. Where is it?
Because you're interpreting it wrong because you're
Interpreting it wrong?
They're meant to help.
Well, does that mean that they are? The police are meant to help. I married a man that his whole family is law enforcement. I married a man whose whole family is law enforcement, and we're being tortured in traffic, and we're on the OFAC watch list. So does that mean they're good? Does that mean because they wear a badge, they're good? They're animals. They're crooked fucking animals.
I need some fucking money.
I don't have any money.
Yes, you do. You just got paid.
I didn't get paid. It's Tuesday. And then tomorrow I owe $800 to the phone bill.
You do not. You're a fucking liar.
Okay.
I need some fucking money. Because you get my other fucking benefits.
I don't get your benefits. I don't get your benefits.
You're fucking lying. I need some fucking money.
Chelsea, I gave you $100 last week. I gave you $100 last week. Chelsea, I only get a small amount of Social Security disability check every month.
Your card is my Social Security card.
Really?
Because you had to make a fucking new card. Yes, you did. Because John that's how I have a bad card. Because John fucking gave me a bad card. And I know that you're the one stealing my fucking money. Because I sat on the phone with you and ordered a new card with that agent, and then you lied to me about it coming because you had it made in your name.
Chelsea, he told you not to order another one because you just ordered 3.
No, you ordered it, you fucking retard. Your card is my card.
Oh, my God.
You had to make a fake one. I'm not dumb.
Really? I had a guy make a
at the
fake
bank.
card.
You
I
think
have
that I
the
don't know that
authority
the
to
bank
make
does that for
somebody make
John?
a fake card.
I'm gonna fucking report you and John for doing this shit to my fucking
Who
stuff.
are you
and
going
that
to report it to? Like they're going to
you
do
have a
anything?
waiver and
These
an
people
extension,
are
and a split
criminals.
your payment.
They're
You have a
mining
split
us
your
for
payment, a waiver and an
cryptocurrency.
extension on my fucking benefits for a bank account that I have that's supposed to be closed. And then why is it still open, taking my Social Security payment and not, I haven't even got my $9.94. That alone is fucking fraud. And that they're stealing my money through a TSR company on consumer fucking energy through Minnesota Power.
That doesn't even make sense.
Because I'm supposed to be the owner of Minnesota Power.
Really? You're supposed to be the owner of Minnesota Power?
I'm supposed to be the owner to a lot of things. Did you know that?
Well, does that make
you
sense,
did.
Chelsea?
I bet you're the one that's getting all of my money too, right?
Chelsea, why would
You and
you own
Tom?
Minnesota Power?
Because I'm supposed to own a lot of things.
Well, why? Why should you own a lot of things?
Maybe because I am the fucking, I guess I'm just the queen of the world, I guess.
Well, come on. I mean, be realistic.
No, come on, nothing.
Listen to yourself
But you know
talk.
what? I'm fucking so tired of listening to you lie to me. Because this is your fault. This is your fucking fault. Why is my daughter in jail? Or are you lying about that too?
Well, Chelsea.
She's really probably missing is what she is.
Well, who
so
knows?
if I look her up
I don't
on
put
fucking the
anything
roster,
past
is she gonna
this
be
dirty
there?
town. I don't put
Is she
anything
on
past
the
this
roster?
dirty town.
Is she on the roster?
Yes, that's how I found out. Cable's seen it, and
What
then
is
he
she
called
in there
Chase,
for?
and Chase called me. Violating
she
an
in there for?
order of protection. She's fighting with that boy that
What
actually...
is she really in there for?
What did I just say? It says that she violated an order of protection and domestic abuse. So that Ashton Martinez lives with people from my hometown that I grew up with, and
Because of John?
Todd Jourdain. They're related to Todd Jourdain, who you
What?
they hooked you up with.
They're not related, Mom. They fucking all did whatever. John is part of the reason why whatever happened with Todd a long time ago and his prison bullshit is he's part of it. John is part of it.
Well, all I know
They
is
killed his
there
daughter
goes
or
the
some
military.
shit. I don't
All I
fucking
know is, you know what?
Why this is happening? John is the person that's coming after me because of something Todd did, but Todd's helping him do it.
All I know is that I Googled this.
And we also met John when we picked up Josh from that drive-in movie theater years ago with Josh and Jessica. That's where they were running from him, supposedly. Remember? From the movie?
Chelsea, that doesn't even make sense.
Remember when we picked up Josh and Jessica at the drive-in movie theater with Kevin and Chris all them years ago?
No, I don't remember that at all. How would we pick up some people?
He is the same guy that he was trying to get away from, supposedly.
All I know
But
is...
really, this is all conspiracy. Because they all just work together.
All I know is that...
They murder people and steal
all
their
I know
lives.
is the little dweeb, the little awful man, a little boy that they
I
have
need some
Jaden
money.
hooked up his name is Ashton Martinez, and
I
he
need some
lives with
fucking
people in People Search that say Donna
He's
Newgren.
fucking one of
Or,
John's
not
kids.
Donna Newgren, Donna
He's one of John's
Jourdain is a relative. Donna Jourdain.
John's
You
kids.
told me when you remember
I need some
waking
fucking
up,
money. I
they
don't
were
care.
implanting you.
I don't even fucking care. I need some
Implanting
fucking
you.
money. I need some fucking money.
I don't know what to tell you. I can't keep giving you $100 every few weeks. I only
Otherwise, I'm gonna fucking call like someone else. I'm gonna call and fucking talk to Tom at work.
What do you think Tom is gonna do?
I don't know, but I'm gonna tell him that you are a nutcase and that I need someone to actually fucking help me.
My husband is trafficking us.
Yeah, you know what? He's probably more understanding or like.
Really? He gets
I
you
don't
out
know,
of the
but
house,
you're not
Chelsea.
really any help.
He won't let you stay here.
You're not any help.
What is wrong
Because
with
you're
you?
the
Do
one
you
stealing
not
my
remember
money.
anything we've been through? He physically throws you out of the house. Out of our house, out of my house, out of your house, our house. My husband, who married me 30 years ago, his parents, she's gone. His parents is my daughter's godparents. See, here we go. I don't know if you can see that. They got the United States. Oh, there's 3 of them now. circling around my house. Well, it looks like he's leaving. He's a stratolifter. Looks like he's leaving. Let's see. See that? This is what they're doing to people in the United States of America. They're driving them crazy. I've got my granddaughter in jail, and my daughter is so messed up from the voice to skull technology. And this is our United States military. Look at that. The Air Force. It's a Rivet. Rivet is a data collection specialty, I believe. And then what's behind them here? Another one's coming up. Navy. It's the Navy coming up. NHK. Boeing Poseidon. It's Boeing Poseidon. See that? He was circling my house. And he's the stratolifter. The United States Air Force stratolifter. I might as well stay on and see if I can talk about some stuff that's been happening. I don't even know where to begin. I don't even know where to begin. Just the same old, anybody and all the TPUSA gang. It started with the Kirk, Erica Kirk's family, the Franzes, are directly connected to my network of cyber torture criminals. I have a beacon that comes in from Flowood, Mississippi, and they connected to that Flowood, Mississippi address. And I have found that in 5 separate different investigations, totally different investigations brought me to that same address. Again, I've got a nonstop Ellie Bose. It's infrasound causes torture and death. If you're on a secret list, laws, you simply get killed. You can possibly thrown under the bus by those closest to you for profit. I mean, it's just a free-for-all. Nobody's safe anymore. So this is my house being bombarded, all hours of the night. Ellie Bose, Ellie Bose, Ellie Bose. And here are all victims that don't know. These are the bottom right corner, all people in the United States, just examples, some examples of people that don't know that they're being human trafficked, surveilled, mined for data. And then the one on the bottom left is not my house, somebody else's house, and it's all Ellie Bose devices, just like that's happening to me. Here's another investigation, this Paramount Tactical that was had to do with TPUSA. They connected to him. It actually a business enterprise. It included my dad. My dad has a P.O. box. My dad left when I was small. And he shares a P.O. box with the group up here in Two Harbors, Lake Nebagamon. Just this whole business owner thing. It goes back to childhood. My whole thing goes back to childhood. Here's another one. I fell into, Googling this defense contracts. So I just went down the line and I investigated the first one in Minnesota. And it went to the house like 3 doors down that I have not seen anybody there since 2020. And that's who it went to, is that house. And then I did the next one, and it was in Wisconsin, and they immediately connected back to lifelong people that I've known my entire life. And then let's see, just this one says, before I start, you can't see it very good. Before I start today, so many involved in oppression and torture, pretending, lying, manipulating, destroying lives for profit. They're people you aspire to be, affluent leaders, teachers, pastors, neighbors, friends, and family. Targeted individuals, cyber torture, MK Ultra, RICO, it's a Holocaust. You know, I've got my entire family right here on the OFAC watch list. Found over 100,000 LEI financial transactions in our Social Security numbers. Here I was, took my grandkids on our annual KOA camp trip, and you know, the second picture is a drone hiding in between the trees, and the third is, you know, your neighbors had huge light beams, you know, to let them know you're being watched. Then using forensics, my IP. Here they come, my IP in, you know, Chicago at 3 different locations. Are they coming? Oh, there they go. There goes the Air Force. And there's my IP in 3 different locations, and then I still had people coming in all over the world in the infrasound. The last 2 I had, you know, Stockholm, Sweden, and you know, London, and I'm not sure off the top of my head where those other 2, and then in the United States, and then you know, your GPS tracked all the way down from this is hard to do this like this, sorry about that. You know, GPS tracked, you know, I woke up to him jabbing a tracker in the back of my head, and there I'm being tracked all the way down from Duluth to the KOA campground. And then there's my house, that black picture, you know, with a bunch of community members that are hooking up, hacking my devices and hacking in. This one says, home from my annual camping trip. My Wiggle's not working up to par. Have storage issues, but showing non-consensual network surveillance, biometric exploitation, body data currency, slow kill, profit enterprise. I'm bombarded at my camp spot and traffic south. So you can see that first picture here, that blue line of nodes. You know, I'm not sure how many miles south it went of the campground, but across farmlands to somebody's farm property. And then, you know, I get home, and those are just a few examples of, you know, the neighbors' networks bombarding my environment. So each one of those dots indicates, you know, antennas, beacons, receivers, and, you know, that's all money. This is human trafficking. And then, you know, the middle picture is, you know, my daughter, you know, calling me up and saying things like, you know, I think Jaden's fucking chained up on the fence on 27th West. I hear her screaming, tell Josh to get her off the fucking fence, or Mike, or whoever has her. These are text messages that my daughter sends me. My kids in this building, you need to have someone come and get them, or I'm calling on you and Kate and Josh and them and the police. And I can't see if I can't read the other one. Mom, I swear you, I see Jordan, and I don't know if I can read it here. I'm going to try to find that so I can read that to you. I want you to know what my daughter is enduring. I don't know if I have it quick access on my phone. You know, look at all of these documentations of this crime. Maybe I should go in. We know that the Air Force is flying around my house. The military, I don't know, that one could have been the Navy now. Let's see if I can get a better. Anyway, let's see. they're doing. This is what they're doing to women and children in the United States of America. You know, I wake to cut hair and direct energy weapons, burns all over my body. Yeah, here's one of the ones. Here's my daughter sends me this text. That's fucking Jordan. People following me or Cable because he's a, you know, the F word, a sick truck or two. Call the cops on them. I can't keep calling. Can you be chartered? I don't even know what it says. She thinks she sees her children on the roof of the house across the street. It's awful. They make her hear her children being raped and tortured and murdered. There's trying to find a couple of the other ones. You've probably heard me talk about them. You know, if you do a Walmart pickup, have a pickup order, you know, they put the worst of the worst vegetables and stuff. You know, never order steak. They pick out the worst stuff they can if you do a pickup order or a delivery. It's very sad that this is the people you aspire to be. You know, they've you know, working on my lawn chairs here again this year, that one. While I was at the KOA, they broke. You know, my grandson sat in one and the bottom fell out, and then later I sat in one and the bottom fell out. These are pretty brand new lawn chairs. And, you know, I've got pictures every year, any lawn chair I've ever had. They've broken. I'll show you all of these. I got to actually saran wrap around that second picture so I could try to use it, and then, you know, they actually even like exchanged a chair for a chair I didn't have. But, you know, that's how they destroy everything that you find any enjoyment in. You know, here's you know, just all, you know, they take saws and files and chisels, and they dig out holes in your floors and your chairs and your, you know, they break your window shades. It's just a free-for-all. You know, they get to just come in and destroy your clothes and your belongings and your car, your vehicles. You know, I can't have any plants. Actually, they just killed this orchid here I had. They just killed that. You know, slice your clothes. Here's a ring that they took the diamonds out of, both different rings in the exact same spot. They dug them out right there. Second one. Death by 1,000 cuts. I wanted to see if I could find that, some of the text messages from Chelsea. Yeah, see, they... Wish I could get this better. I don't know why it's just overly large. Here we go. Alright, maybe that'll be better. Okay, this is already 23 minutes. You know, here I'm up at the cabin. I'm at the cabin. I was, you know, there must be a hidden mesh network up at the cabin. Trafficked all over the lake. There's only 12 properties on the cabin. Or actually, there's more now. There's like 3 or 4 new people that they've all of a sudden opened up land. It was supposedly like state-owned land that they were never going to sell. And I think like all 3 of the new people are military or law enforcement. Yeah, creepy guy here.
What are you worried about?
Who is that?
Who cares? He's
Really?
for
Yeah.
sale. It's for sale.
He's a fucking gang stalker.
Did you see the sign? Do you see the sign?
Great.
Watch his face. I catch him. See? And then Then I'm, you know, I picked up some devices that I believe he helped triangulate later. Let's see. I also had a helicopter just, or here's, I have it on video, but, oh, that's not it. So where would it be? I caught a helicopter like literally took off from the heliport at the hospital and just did a really low circle over me while we were dropping off the grandkids from the cabin there. You know, they broke my cell phone, my old cell phone, which picks up some good data, ripped my shorts. Put a hole in my Diablo floaty thing. They've destroyed any flotation device that I have. They sewed up my stuff so smaller. So that's the crotch of my swimsuit bottoms. It's so small that all of my stuff, you know, hangs out the side. Look how tiny that is. That's the piece that goes between my legs. So they sew up all my clothes constantly. You know, it was just my grandson's birthday, and you know, all the packages, look how they come. This is how your packages come. And then they opened up this box that was this, and it was broken. So they opened it up to break it. And it wasn't open until after it was in my house, because I received it and it was fine. And then like the next day, it had been opened overnight while you know, I'm sleeping or whatever. If I have a picture of it. You know, they break all my Tupperware. They crack my Tupperware. They put holes in your sheets and your kitchen towels and your bath towels and all your linens. Here they sewed up my bra strap so small. That's I was supposed to go around my shoulder. That's how small they sewed them up. So they even sew up my underwear and my bras. You know, again, my shorts were mid thigh, and they are so short, you know, that they're, you know, up to here. And then, you know, my summer shirt here, you know, I tried to piece it together because they sew it so small, it's, you know, torture. Holes in all your clothes to make you look ragged. You're waking up to, oh no, here's direct energy weapon hit to my arms. You know, I wake up to bruises in my arms like that too. I just took some pictures. You know, another hole. They're like those round holes. This is me trying to finagle a brand new top that I got. So I added those two pieces on the end. See, this is how small it was. This is supposed to be a halter top. That's how small they altered the straps. So I tried to add some new pieces to it. You know, more broken Tupperware. Plus they steal my liners for my air fryer. You see, that's all taped up Tupperware. Holes. It's not showing up very good. Holes in my Tupperware. It's just non-stop ugliness. And then to know that United States military, there is me trying to piece together another shirt that they altered smaller. Look at my daughter. Look what they've done to my daughter. This is my daughter. You know, this is beautiful her. This is what they've done. They've taken her life. They've stolen her life. And the man that they hooked her up with after prison, you know, he committed manslaughter, supposedly killed his buddy and buried him in his yard. And that's the family that they've got my granddaughter Jaden hooked up with now, and she's actually in jail today. You've seen all these Ishi. There's my Ishi neighbor with the commercial cell tower over here calling the cops. He could have called from his own property, but he comes over here saying my grandkids trespassed on his property. They gave him a commercial business and a commercial cellular tower in a residential neighborhood, and he comes over and he whacks me and calls the cops to tell him that my grandkids are trespassing on his property. And the cops say, oh, we will give your grandkids a warning this time, but they didn't do it. I showed them the video of him hitting me, and they don't do nothing. Here's my Chelsea. She's homeless 5 years, and she's on the verge of homelessness again. And she gets a Social Security check now, but she can't get it. And here we are. We trace route. There's Jeffrey Epstein's property, and we, immediately route to the Zorro Ranch, Ghislaine Maxwell, Epstein, again, TPUSA, they just put a new transformer around the pole across the street from my house. Look how big and ugly that is. Here she is. Hi, Grandma, it's Jade, and I'm in jail because of Ashton. I'm sorry, I'm ruining my life. And that's who they have her hooked up with, is the same family that implanted Chelsea. And this is what they're letting happen nobody's safe in the United States of America, and especially young women. And if you have a single mom with children, look out, you're a triple bonus. Look at my beautiful daughter and look at her now, what they've done. She hears voices, and they literally come in the house. Her little space that she has right now, she's supposed to be out. They want to kick her out, and they don't give her check. She has no food, no money. It's just a small room, and they stole her fan, and they steal her tampons. They steal her phone. It's disgusting what's happening in the United States of America. This is what they've done to my family. Is she gang stalkers? Is she people? I've got this same picture of the guy doing that same mouth thing. Is she? There's a couple woman gang stalkers. She's doing the pointing psyops. Freemason Eastern Star women, I guess. Just gross. That's why I don't even hardly go out of the house anymore. Here's my neighbors. Nonstop, flying over you. Military, Blackhawks. You sit outside, and this is what I endure. My house. Here they are, another day. That was May 10th. So, and look at my tree. That's what they've done to my tree. They hit that one. They've taken 4 trees down. Supposedly lightning, but they're direct energy weapons. Hitting my breast and my rump with direct energy weapons. Let's see if I can see anything new on X. Again, Again, I'm trace routing everybody and their brother back here. My neighbor, they pretended to be my friend. They've got lethal RFIMSI surveillance mobile telecommunication tower, Darcy and Todd Redenbach. They pretended to be our friends and committed some of the ugliest Zung skits at all. I don't know if I've ever talked about the little skit where they had their little girl pull her pants down just as, this Freemason came. Here's my family. Here I'm at the KOA. I just got to the KOA. I woke to direct energy weapon hits at home before I left. And then I was getting hit the whole time I was there. A lot of them on my back and my bump. So I couldn't, hard to tape them. And they broke both my camp chairs and I fell through, and it was a bugger getting out of that. And this is what my family did. The minute I walked up, they like came running over with this hat and said, "Oh, see my hat and see what it says." And and that was what I did before I left for this trip, was to make sure I didn't have stuff hanging out on the side of my swimsuit, and that's, you can't tell me that wasn't a Zerzetzung move, and that's just gross. I spent the entire time away from my family while I was there, and here I am at the campground, or no, this was the day before, so I was out shopping, and here I've got people connecting to me 137 miles away. 137 miles away. So when I'm out shopping, that there's people that help, I think, with antenna, beacons, transmitters, receivers, and I connected, again, I was nowhere near. Up in the corner here. Oh, here comes the police. And I married into a family of law enforcement. Here's I put that direct energy weapon hit on here every day, and I live up in the middle of almost kind of a remote, quiet corner of my neighborhood, and I've got first responder sirens every day, and I stumbled across this defense contract portal, and so I went down the list and I investigated so far just the first two. The closest one in Minnesota, or it was just the one in Minnesota and Wisconsin, and they directly connected to my same stuff. And there's the military. They're getting ready for the air show, and they were kind enough to go right through my backyard. I was pretty excited about that. I enjoy that. It makes me happy. And then actually, here's I just posted another reported targeted woman, to the growing list that a few clicks connect. So yeah, I traced her. She posted her name and address on her Facebook page, and I looked her up, and in a few clicks connected her to my same lifelong group, Making Cyber Torture a Business Plan, and the list is growing on how many people have done that for. And there's my iPhone biohacked 3 observations miles away, and the guy that had the antenna is named Colin Devil Bliss, I don't know. He's an IBM software engineer. My neighbor's dad next door, that's what he is, a military from Randolph Air Force Base, IBM software engineer. So this guy is IBM software engineer too, showing a few, many IBM, plus I have IBM traversing through my Wireshark database here. Everybody making bank. Oh, here's some of the text messages. Here's one from Chelsea. Mom, I swear, says, Mom, I swear Kate's lying to you about the kids. I see Jordan in Dean's window last night, almost not alive looking, and I can hear him screaming, call Grandma. I know Jalea's pregnant, and Jaden either is or just had another one. I know there's at least 2 Jordans and 3 Jadens and maybe 4 that I've seen. I'm not stupid, so listen. They're going to try to kill me and you. Something, even Tom. I'm willing to bet, but it's Jamie's family too, on top of everyone else. They're right zombie family, I guess. Did you know in the movie Urban Cowboy, I don't know if I come back to life. I think I'm sick and I don't heal well enough anymore. Heart disease. This is what they're doing to our children in the United States of America. This is what they're doing in the United States of America. And there's the military. Here's the military. All forensic evidence. I don't know if I can get it. It's not coming in. know, there's CERN. In the middle is the CIA, the FBI, and the well, they're just not letting me zoom in on this. Terrible. They're not letting me zoom on any of that evidence. But, you know, you've probably seen it before. You know, that's the place, New Mexico Military Training Center, coming in on my red box. Here's the Department of Defense in my computer. Here's the United States Space Force, RAF, Air Force off the coast of Africa. Here's CERN. Here's going down the street, and it's the CIA, the FBI, and the NSA. And here I visually trace route to the Department of Homeland Security Chief Information Officer's house in Ashburn, Virginia. And here's all military captures. The middle one is like military research training in Czechoslovakia or something. And then, you know, this is all captures of right here, you know, my trace routing to all, like, you know, Georgia, the government building in Georgia, and Los Angeles and Chicago, and here in Duluth, and all over the place. Those were all captures. And then here, sorry about that, you know, sensor data. My neighbors all human trafficking me. They're psychopaths. Your neighbors are psychopaths now. And there's my neighbors with these beams and all the my house. A lot of this you've seen before. All right, it's already almost 45 minutes. Let's see, is there anything else? You know, it's just been the same awfulness. Many making bank. One example, similar, pulling away from my grandkid's house. A man pulls up, and that was the video I just showed you. Here he is. And, well, it had 30 observations. That must have only had, did it have only one global match? Yeah, one global match. So the device had one global match to Germany. And here, you know, this was all the, you know, standing at my grandkid's house. So I'm thinking that he had something to do with that right there. We were just getting ready to pull away from dropping the grandkids off. He pulls up, and it's like a Sunday, and he pretends he's going into this horrible, dilapidated property, you know, and he pretends that, you know, oh, what is he bending down to look at? And then, you know, but he sneaks a peek back at me. It's gross. And then, you know, my IP, when I'm at the cabin, where was it? Roseville, Minnesota resident. Oh, the resident was the manager of John Hopkins Applied Physics Lab. That's where my IP was sitting when I was at the cabin in Roseville, Minnesota, at a guy that worked for John Hopkins Physics Lab. And then, you know, all of those red nodes are the weaponized, mobile, lethal, weaponized, monetized UMTS, IMSI, cellular towers. You know, I had 3 visible right there on my property. And that was on the 5th of July, the day after we got home. And, you know, nonstop harassment by these airplanes. And, oh, the owner, the pollution, let's see, it says, oh, it was Cirrus Design, and he's my #1, you know, noise pollution harassment stalker. And he immediately, one click, and he ties to the guy that T-boned me up in Silver Bay. And then I looked further, and they're related to somebody with the last name Pellman and Davis, and Pellman is my mom's maiden name, and Davis is my married name. So, you know, I don't know if it's my great uncle. It was George Pellman, and I know my mom's, I think, dad had a brother named George, you know, but he died. My mom's dad died of tuberculosis when she was like 3 or 4. You know, possibly the reason that we're targeted is for the TB research. You know, actually, I just got 2 more bills yesterday, of almost $700. I've got a few that I haven't posted, and I'm over, you know, about $4 million in medical fraud bills. Another, med chopper. Well, that was the one I think. On my grandkids.
Just a second.
It's a helicopter. Nobody cared.
Oh, yeah, that's just crazy. They just literally flew off the helicopter pad just to do a circle around me. There's the cops, too. I just brought my grandkids home from the 4th of...
Yeah. Delete the account.
Look at that, right over us.
Come on, delete.
Just a second.
It's a helicopter. Nobody cared.
Oh, yeah, that's just crazy. They just literally flew off the helicopter pad just to do a circle around me.
Yeah,
There's the cops.
I literally heard him
I just
start
brought my
up.
grandkids.
Yeah. Delete the account.
I heard him start up. So there I am at the cabin. See, look at that. Boats, people would go by in their kayaks. It's only a very small lake. It's only like 8 feet deep. And I would be, laying or sitting on the end of the dock. And, a kayak would come by or a pontoon boat. And they would sit and pretend to fish right in front and see how they're connecting to my non-consensual body area network, while I'm at the lake. And another woman just terribly being tortured to death there. Reposted that. My IPv4 mapper, see, they're, connecting to me all the way. They follow you. This is geoslavery. That's why I call it geoslavery. So I'm at the cabin right here in the middle, but all the way, miles around, people have beacons, antennas, receivers that are connecting to you. So they're all profiting off of that. And, that's the definition of geoslavery. And, some of the things that happened while I was at the cabin, again, they broke my phone, they ripped my floaty, they broke the air floaty filler, ripped my shorts, and altered my swimsuit bottom. It's just nonstop ugliness, and there's Roxy. Roxy's buried up there. They killed Roxy. They tortured and killed my dog, and she's buried right there up at the lake. And this was the 4th of July. What's this one? Oh, and then this gal. So she's like from Somalia or somewhere like that. She's coming in on my Redvox infrasound from Dearborn, Michigan. And then all the people from all the different countries human trafficking me. And that's what they're letting these people from other countries come in and profit off of you from other countries. And again, here I think I'm up at if that's my house or at the lake. No, I'm at home now, and see how I'm just being trafficked across the state of Minnesota, miles away. 112 miles away, connecting 112 miles away. And then the different devices that coming into my environment. It's a biometric access control. Oh, and this is the one that ended up that I did further investigation. And see here, I've got a beacon right here coming in from 1045 Flint Drive, Flowood, Mississippi. And here, so I investigated them, but they also, Kirk, so right here in my investigation of the Kirk family, Erica Franze's parents connected to that same address, see, 1045 Flint Drive, Flowood, Mississippi. There's my little bird bath. I made that bird bath and I just had filled it with some fresh water, and I had a beautiful little robin taking a bath in there. Made me happy. Try to find happiness in the small things. Here I've got Samara networks coming into my environment 2 different times. I'm not sure what time of the day. What time was that? I didn't write my IP address. They see how the confidence area changes. Here's another biometric access company. See, only comes into my environment at 1:10 in the afternoon. One global match to Poland. Came in from Poland. Let's see, what did I say? Biohacks my intellect, sells it to Poland, Hong Kong. More research, working listed. So the address leads to a person shared a P.O. box with the Naval Submarine Base. Naval Submarine Base. For the record, my first partner, kid's dad, was fresh out of the Navy, quote unquote, when we met. Again, you know, documenting that nonstop bows and being murdered and being slowly killed with a weaponized Ellie Bose sound system. You know, this is what they're letting happen, and it's happening to tons of other people. They just don't know it. And again, here, another reported South Dakota targeted individual woman address immediately connects to Wisconsin, Minnesota reported group making cyber torture. So sometimes people will reach out to me and ask me to do an investigation, and this lady here lived in South Dakota, and in one click it came back to my same group, and the guy that T-boned me over and over and over to this group where the guy that T-boned me. And you know, I mean, that, you know, I had 7 teeth pulled and I felt like I had a stroke in my face for the next couple years, and it was a pretty awful time. All the military. Okay, well, I'm gonna hang it up. It's almost an hour. So, oh, here's another one. I don't know if I talked about that. You know, the Brian Kaufman videos that, you know, he was a whistleblower on the targeted individual. He worked for security industry specialists. And I looked them up. They have 51 branches, and I did an investigation on the main branch in California and the Minnesota branch, and they immediately connected back here. Over and over, you know, surveillance. It's not if you have anything to hide or fear, but can your family be made a business plan? And a lot of people are making money off of people's oppression and torture, and that's why this is definitely a silent Holocaust happening in the United States of America. All right, Lisa Davis, my entire family on the OFAC watched fraudulent watch list tied to names like Osama bin Laden, which is absolutely ridiculous. Living a life of oppression and torture. My daughter's just suffering. You heard her on the phone. She's just had her life stolen. You know, maybe I deserve it, but she doesn't deserve it. We were born into this, and she doesn't deserve to be tortured to death and have her life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness stolen by a bunch of psychopaths, people that pretended, and we grew up believing we're here to protect and defend us, are at the helm of this. Cyber torture, defined by United Nations Torture Rapporteur Nils Melzer. Over and out. It's what is it today? It's 12:45 p.m. and it's what is it today? It's July. Oh my God! It's July 14th. July 14th, 2026. It's my mom's birthday today. Oh my God! I'm really gonna lose it. Today was my mom's birthday. I believe that she was a victim of cyber torture. I believe that my dad was actually her handler. You know, he left her with 5 children, and, you know, I find my dad with this P.O. box he left when I was small, and he's sharing a P.O. box that goes to that group that T-boned me. And actually yesterday, my one investigation of somebody went to his best friend, my uncle. I called him Uncle Les. He married my mom's first cousin, Joyce, and that's who it went to. Him, he shared a P.O. box with some people that it went to, and you know, I believe my mom was a victim. All of these investigations go to lots of her best friends, and they were bar owners, and you know, that's why I call it modernized clandestine. MK Ultra, they started letting me go into a bar when I was like 14 years old. It was the University of Wisconsin chancellor's daughter brought me out to her Lake Nebagamon cabin when I was just a small girl, 12, 14, and it's those people that ended up looking like they're my identity theft, MK Ultra group. Yes, I just keep finding my best friends from childhood over and over connected to this, and again, you know, they started giving me drugs and alcohol. You know, we did a lot of acid at like 14 years old, and it all ties together. The puzzle comes together once I've did this research through a progression of research, knowledge, help, investigation. You know, finding SHAP Bobby up in Canada, you know, was a game changer, and learning these forensics has put the pieces together, and there's no denying what's happened, and people are making money off of data, and you know, it's financial crimes. Data is like gold, body data, and then it falls into fraudulent insurance and the surveillance industry and the entertainment industry, and they're broadcasting you on the dark web, and probably goes into, you know, many different legs, betting and all kinds of stuff, and you know, and who knows what all happens when you're knocked out at night, you know. Okay, I'm out. Over and out. Lisa Davis, Duluth, Minnesota. Documenting history, diary. Thank you.